What's going on, everybody? Sorry that I was so quiet there. Um, just getting a few things ready. Just trying to get stuff together. Uh, let's see here. How y'all doing tonight, anyway? While I'm doing this, yeah. Hopefully, I don't have too bad of an echo. I'm trying to figure that out. Why that is? Not quite sure why that happens. I had it all synced up today. Um, yeah, I had it all synced up today, and it was flowing nice. Turned the computer off once, and this program. I think I'm gonna get away from OBS. It seems like every time I try to broadcast, it gives me a new problem. Seems like most people are using. I can't even think of the name of the other one, but I don't think too many people using this. Okay, so here I go. All right, let's see this. So I'm trying to see my chat. Okay. Anyway, man, I'm sorry, y'all. Anybody who listening or decides to listen that it took this long. Anyway, man, I'm sorry, y'all. Anybody who listening decides to just trying to see if I sound okay or if I don't sound too bad. You know. So let's see. Let's see here. Can I hear myself? Let's see here. Can I hear myself? Testing one, two. Sorry, y'all, man. It's hard to do this without other people helping you and you're doing it by yourself. Testing one, two. Sorry, y'all, man. It's hard to do this without other people helping you and you're doing it by yourself. Seeing that I don't have a lot of volume here. See if this helps us some. Anyway, man, let's get to some stories, man. Anyway, how y'all doing? I've been on vacation for the last few days. I went down to Atlanta. Fun place, man, but the traffic is terrible. And I mean, the traffic is real bad. Fun place, man, but the traffic is terrible. And I mean, the traffic is real bad. Um, and I mean, the traffic is real bad. It just seems like when I turn this mic up, I start to get a lot of echoes. It just seems like when I turn this mic up, I start to get a lot of echoes. But yeah, man, being down there did not make me miss the big city any. Telling you now, man, I ain't never seen so many bad drivers in my whole entire life. Telling you now, man. I mean, drivers in my whole entire life. Like, yeah, man, driving along, man, and seeing so many crazy drivers. Like, I don't know what be wrong with people when they get on the road. They kind of don't respect the the car. That's what I say. They don't respect the car, man. Cause goddamn, the way they were driving and swerving, and man, uh, I hadn't gotten that man in a while, man. Like I'm typically a really cool, laid back guy, man. Really down to earth, kind of quiet if you really want to be truthful. Man, driving with those nuts, man. Oh my God, man. Just like you have to understand, like if you when you are in the car, you that is a rolling death machine, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, man. I think a lot of people kind of take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? And they just don't respect the road, man. They don't respect the road, baby. They don't respect it. All right. And it's I don't know. This whole day been long. It looked like they changed my damn thumbnail. It just all kind of stuff going crazy over here, man. Who knows? It might have happened with it might have happened with this crazy OBS program. Yeah, man. It's I think I'm gonna try to switch to this other StreamYard, but man, it's so expensive, man. They want like $50 a month for that versus the $30 a month for OBS. But OBS has so many problems, man. And I think what I need to do to probably cut it out is to go ahead and get me a condenser mic and just retire this podcasting mic. I tried to hook it up to um my mixer and it would not operate. Really sounded bad. But anyway, man, today's show is basically a continuation of last Wednesday show. I didn't stay on long Wednesday because I was in the middle of packing, getting ready to take this long road trip. I had to get up early in the morning, so I only broadcasted for maybe an hour. So we'll stick around a little more today, and it'll be a continuation of what we saw what we saw Wednesday. I got a few things saved up here. Hopefully everything cooperates and we can everything cooperates and we can get this stuff to work correctly, man. Because I swear, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's the other week I was having issues with the videos here, so I had to go and get a sound booster for the videos to be able to play loud enough. But I don't think I got a lot of videos today, but we will hit up X because they are the best source for watching these videos. I was in my during the day while I kind of moved around. I picked a couple of videos, man. But one of the things that I've been laughing at because I keep seeing a video over and over again is James Carville, um, the Cajun Skeletor, some people call him. Watching him, uh, watching him kind of wild out in the way that he was wilding out. Some of the stuff he was saying, it was kind of funny, but it was also ironic. Um, so it was also ironic because um, earlier in the year he wasn't this animated. We'll just put it like that. So we're gonna look at some stuff here, trying to get this, trying to get this, trying to get this up and so we can see it. I see the grandbaby about to go home. She's peeking over here because she like to come and sit in the studio area with me. So I'm pretty sure she's looking like, why am I not sitting over there right now? You can't sit over here right now, man. Can't sit over here right now. She get ready to go home. Maybe one day we'll get up here and do a show on camera together so she can say hi to everybody. I don't know about that though. People be weird. But anyway, let's see here. So we're gonna get this up right here. Right here.
Anyway,
Go over
let's see here.
to here.
So we're gonna get this up right here.
All right. All right.
All right.
Here. So we got.
So we got.
I don't know who this is interviewing him, but this is this interview right here. Well, this is one of the more hilarious interviews. I don't think they gelled all that well. If this the one I listened to, so this is one of the more hilarious interviews. I don't think they gelled all that well. If this the one I listened to, so so let's get into it. So let's get into it. Why does it sound like we got two coming through here? Okay, because it is. All right. Let's not do that. All right. Did not mean for y'all to do that. Okay. Now let's find our story again. Yeah. All right. Told y'all, man, it's the struggle stream. We're gonna get it together though. All right.
It's going to take more than one cycle to get this stench off of the Democratic Party. And it's a stench of the highest order, let me tell you.
I'm going to ask you about the stench in a moment, but I first want to say, because you brought up Maureen Dowd, and there is also an idea that America is still not ready for a female president. But last spring, you said, you know, a suspicion of mine is that there are too many preachy females dominating the culture of the Democratic Party.
I'm so sorry, y'all. But do you see her? She is about to lose it.
Do you stand by that, females?
Would you look at our male vote? Would somebody just take a look at how we did with males and how we did with non-white males and tell me that the Democrats don't have a messaging problem, that their message comes across as too feminine? I mean, of course I was right when I said that. I don't think there's not a person in the world I've talked to that doubts that I'm right now.
Okay, James.
I mean, I say provocative things to get a provocative reaction.
Yeah.
But is somebody going to really tell me we don't have a problem with male voters?
And you know what? Even though he sound crazy as hell, man, look, he is not lying. Okay? He is not lying. Let's see here. See here. Okay. I learned some new things. Sorry about that, y'all. Squirrel moment. Squirrel moment. But yeah, like I was saying, let's get this back up here. Yeah, man, that video, even though it's funny, you know, there's a lot of truth to it because the Democratic Party does have a problem with male voters. The Democrats have a problem with males, period. Okay. As a black man talking and speaking to the people that I watch and see and pay close attention to, because let's be serious and honest about this. Being, we kind of pay attention to people who kind of represent us. It's just part of the game. It's not saying that anybody's better than anybody or anything like that. It's just kind of what happens, right? So, watching the black guys, right, that the Democratic Party chooses to put out in front of us and to relay messages. Excuse me, I had to drink some water there. They often choose the most soft-spoken, a lot of the times they're LGBT or LGBT leaning, where you kind of it's kind of like you don't really know what they are, and it's can we get this out of here? And you kind of and it's and the message that they put out is that they don't want any other men beside those type of men, and they kind of demand that you fall into that line because um here in on when you get the messaging as a black person from the Democrats, the message is if you're a man, that you should stand behind a woman, do what she does, listen to her, don't have your own autonomy unless she, you have to go through her. She has to be the leader, um, and you're just supposed to just kind of fall in line. Because even the way that they present things to our community is biased in a way where it doesn't really cover males. Um, so you fight almost two. You almost fight on two levels as a black man. I'm not gonna get into all that because it's just this is a pity Olympic. Trying to have pity Olympics. It's just kind of giving you a rough idea of what you be up against. Now, some people will tell you that they don't have any of those kind of issues, and they may not because it's not all encompassing. Nothing is ever all encompassing, but it happens a lot. So you have to, as a black man, you have to be on defense against outside entities, and you have to be on defense against your partner or you're supposed to be partner. And that's not all the time either, because we have a lot of women who love and nurture and help you move and help push the culture forward. But we are at a time now where there is a lot of infighting over here, So anyway, but we're gonna get back and that's Carville's message is you have this problem because okay, let's not get that. You have this problem because of your messaging. Your messaging only appeals to certain type of men. Okay. Other, what they call straight laced men or whatever, they are often ostracized when it comes to this. So you get told you have toxic masculinity if you do anything other than what the party wants. So Carville is in line when he says that the Democratic Party has a messaging problem when it comes to males. He kind of used some colorful wording there. I'm hoping that I don't get in some kind of trouble, but I mean it's him, so who knows? Who knows? But we're gonna look at another Carville interview, and I think this is the one that he did on Fox, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's see. That's not what I'm looking for. That is something else. Yeah, that is another. Is that here? I really thought I had that. Let me see. Hey, I'm gonna watch for a minute and see if this is the one that I'm looking for right here. Because the way this damn site is set up, man, so weird. Let's see here. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna let that play over there for a minute while I talk. But like I said, man, first it was the first one who came out and jumped off the porch was Bernie Sanders. You know what I'm saying? But we can't really believe Bernie Sanders, man. Like at this point, man, he just gonna turn out to be the butt of the joke because despite everything that happens to him at the hands of the Democrat, he always ends up asking everybody to vote for them. And then I heard them talking about he gonna start a third party. I don't see that, man. Not with him. You know what I'm saying? Not with him. Not with him. Because that is just that it? Hmm. I'm still trying to figure out where this dang other video I seen it. Hmm. I may have to go here on. Is this the one right here? Yeah, this may be it. Let's see
In other words, if somebody paid him.
here. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and check this video out. Hopefully, I don't get into too much trouble for it. Let's see here. Get this up here. Get this up here. I swear to God, man, this dude is like he like the funniest dude to me. Like I don't like him, but he's hilarious. Him and the Kennedy guy because they talk a lot of nonsense. They don't really be saying anything. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be funny. You know what I'm saying? I got a video of Kennedy grilling. I think it was Mark Zuckerberg or someone around there. During that time, I got a couple of videos of him and Hawley getting with Zuckerberg that we're gonna watch one of these days this week for the entertainment of it. But anyway, man, let's see what he is talking about on this video, and then we will get back into it. We'll be right back.
Him $1 million to be deputy secretary of whatever, as long as the Trumps got $333,000, they're fine. But you better be giving them their 1/3 cut, because if you don't, you're in trouble, dude. You're in trouble.
This looks like it's gonna be longer than I want to play, but even just then, he said enough right there. Let's see how we want to do this. I think I'm definitely gonna change because I should be able to have my screens up there next to each other. Should not have to put up with the audio delay that affects my live streaming. I think I might have to go back to the drawing board. Oh well. Okay, we in there. That is not the video I want to see. I am looking for this video. I cannot believe I can't find this video. But there is another Carville video that I had up here. It has been a day, y'all. I swear. I am over here looking for it. But he wasn't lying because they do have a messaging problem. Um, Even after the election, man, after how they came down on me, and then which is crazy because how they will tell you to vote and it's your right to vote, and they'll give you all these platitudes, but it'll be pissed if you're not voting for who they want you to vote for. That I think that's one of their biggest problems is they want to be able to dictate to you how you use your vote and who you use your vote on, especially if you're a man. The amount of shaming that came out this election cycle was something crazy that I hadn't seen in a long time, or that I had not heard in a long time. It was wild. It was really, really wild to see. It was really, really wild to hear because you know, people gave us such a hard time, and I don't really think that you should have to suffer based on who you want to vote for. That's really supposed to be something that's private. Sometimes I wonder what their real reasoning is behind the so many breakdowns and percentages of who voted where if the message is just to go and vote. So I really think at the end of the day when you tally the votes and everything, just to kind of save us from some of this stuff, it's that kind of thing should probably remain anonymous. They lost this many percent to that many percent. Hey, that's what we're gonna talk about. But we know we not. But we know they're not going to do anything like that because um, I do believe that's part of those things that they use to keep certain type of divisions going on between people. It's kind of what saves us. That's kind of what saves them a lot of the times from having to be someone different, from having to play a different game. You know. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out how this Yahoo News thing works. It keeps playing videos, and when it plays the video, it kicks to another video. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on here. 'Cause I'm getting a lot of freaking Biden videos. Yeah, this is starting to turn into a challenge for me because I want to figure these things out. How do you get to these? Then I got a couple of I had a couple of Nancy Pelosi videos up here already, but I'm trying to see where these videos are going to. The fun of live streaming. Yeah, but she another one, man, that we're gonna get into. She got a lot of heat on her right now, mostly behind the trading thing. So we're gonna get into that this week too, man. But they are really giving me a hard time today. So let's see. I gotta. All right. Tell you what, I'll do what I did today. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna let a little bit of this music play for a minute, and then while I'm looking for some of these other things, just give me 1 second. I will be right back. think I found the video. It's the long version of it, so we gonna go through some of it. We're not gonna go through all of it. We're just gonna go through the first few minutes of it. Then we're gonna jump over and start talking about Nancy Pelosi a little bit. If you with me, thank you for bearing with me, man. It has been this like my first full week doing this on YouTube. It's a lot different than doing it like through Blog Talk Radios, where I used to do mostly everything. But yeah, let's get this pulled up. Get that off of there. Why is that up there? All right. I might have to I had to do a little better job with my video save, and I just figured out how to save some videos. So next time I'll be better prepared. But yeah, let's get this up here. Yeah, he kind of went off on this video. We're not gonna watch the whole video. I'm pretty sure everybody saw some kind of highlights from it, but he told a lot of truth in it. So let's just go over the first few minutes of it. We might skip through it a little bit, make it a really, really short video. But you know how the news does. Excuse me. Oh my God.
Time. I don't know if anybody will watch it, but it's important for me to get it on the record here. Okay. Welcome to all our YouTube Politicon fans. Take a little bit of a different direction today. I want to talk about 2028. Wait a minute, what are you doing? Yeah, I want to talk about 2028, the election year. And I want to establish right now some principles. The main principle I want to establish is taken off the title of the documentary. It's about winning, stupid. Winning, and nothing else. We learned some lessons in this campaign. And to what extent should a person go to try to win an election?
Well, I think that's their first problem. They're not trying to win an election. They're trying to raise the most money. But I don't really think winning the election was something that they was trying to do this year. Of course, they had to give the illusion of that. But from what we've seen, they wasn't trying to win no election. That was the last thing they was trying to do. And we saw that.
My view is that you would do anything other than break the law. So in my culture, in Louisiana culture, there's nothing more exalted than motherhood. We have this, I don't know if it has to do with like Catholic background, reverence for the Virgin Mary. I have no idea. And when you want to make a point in Louisiana that something is so good or so bad, there's an expression you use, make you slap your mama. Okay, I want to show you. This is a seasoning called Slap Your Mama. It's actually pretty good. You can. It's pretty generally available now. In other places, it comes out of a town called Ville Platte.
Short lady must have knew my throat was dry. She just brought me a big gulp.
So you say, well, James, you do anything to win. You had this wonderful relationship with your mother, mutual idolatry, which a lot.
Okay, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Let's move forward or something. I don't know. Let's move up a little bit. Let's move a little past there. See what he's talking about.
Frankly, gave Democrats no alternative but to rally behind Vice President Harris's campaign. In other words, he set the whole thing up. I hate to say this because I like him, but Joe Biden stands over this catastrophe like a colossus. All right. But
yeah, if you don't think Biden had something to do with this, boy, you crazy. You real crazy. I think he was really pissed about how they did him, and he had an advantage. How did Kamala put it? She had a little capital, I mean political capital to spend, so she gonna spend it. He asked him to spend, so he spent it. Spent the block on him. Hit him like blocker, blocker, blocker. Had him scrambling. Because if y'all notice, almost every time she made like an important appearance on TV, he followed it up with like something goofy. Maybe not every time, but at some of her greatest moments, he was there to like mess it up. Now that was hilarious. Okay, let's see.
At any rate, she was presented with the answer to the question that you should most want, the question that everybody had on their mind. And she chose loyalty over winning. Now, I'm sure that there are people, and good people, reasonable people, ethical people, that say, James, you shouldn't throw somebody in the ditch that made your career. Bullshit. Bullshit. Right? This is the one question that you exist to answer. So there can't be any conflict with anything that wins an election. Nothing. Not relationships, not conflicted loyalties, not anything. Because if you're playing by one rule and they playing by another rule, and your rule is wimpier than their rule, then they're going to beat you. I don't know how else to say this.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. What you wanted to have from them, you didn't get. They should have been truthful with her staff from the beginning, because I still argue with people about Kamala didn't have a lot to do with a lot of that went on. She was just kind of getting led around. Um, but like he said, she wanted to be loyal more than she wanted to win. But then again, when you think about their situation with their donors, they don't really have the choice. You know, they kind of have to be loyal, which is funny to me because um, the donors are mad because she was loyal. I mean, stupidly loyal. They had other people in charge. Um, I don't understand how the donors allowed themselves to be fleeced like that. But it ain't even about them. The thing that they don't talk about is how regular people got fleeced. So many percentage of those donations just came from regular people, and those people didn't get anything. Now that's messed up. That's real messed up. And the wild thing is that they operate like Kamala on loyalty. They want to be more loyal than they want to be a winner. Let me rephrase that. They want to be loyal and sacrifice a win for it. But if they could have got loyalty and the win, that would have been great. But they didn't figure it out.
It sounds so crude, so rude, so political, so unsophisticated. Okay, nothing in politics is more important than winning. So let's go to some things that we saw in this campaign. And some, I'm going to be very clear, we had no choice. But in spite of that, the lessons remain. So I want to address our potential 2028 candidates. I know a lot of you. One of the things that I found most frustrating is I believe that the talent that exists in the current Democratic Party today in the United States is the highest level of talent I've seen in any political party anywhere in my lifetime. So if any of you are listening, I'm going to sort of give you some advice. Some of you will call, ask me, and I want to easily refer this tape. And by the way, the 2028 nomination is going to be worth a lot. Unless we screw it up like only we can do, we should have the presidency back. If there's a country in 2028, I don't want to get in the predicting business here, but let's just assume that there is. My first
Excuse me. Now one excuse me. Shit. Now one thing. Right. They killing me with this. If we have a country in 2020, 2028, where is it going? Where is the country going? That is an interesting question. If you can answer it. Where is the country going? Where is it going? Who's taking it? Because look, I look at it like this. Trump is pushing 80. He is on the end of a political career. Why would he want to become a dictator now? And exactly who is in line to take over after him? Because that person doesn't even get discussed. And that person should be the focus if that's what's going to happen. Because I don't see Trump living another 20 years. If he does, he probably going to be Joe Biden, number 2. The man doesn't take care of himself. He just doesn't. So when I hear that, oh, they're going to do so-and-so to the country, I also laugh because at the same time, they want us to believe that he's not intelligent. He would have to be extremely intelligent on top of ruthless to be able to become a dictator. Because he has to be able to circumvent all kinds of things set up to make him trip and stumble. The other thing I tell people is do not underestimate the people. I think they do that a lot. They just learned a very big lesson with that during this election cycle. Don't underestimate the people. You know, so if they want to win, I think they're going to have to get out of that doom and gloom. While Mr. Carville is entertaining, he says a lot of wild shit, they have to get away from people like him. They have to get away from the Pelosi's. They have to get away from the Schumers. They have to get away from the Clintons, the Obamas, the Harrises, the AOCs, the Jamal Bowmans, Cori Bushes, all of those peoples, all of those types, all of those easily swayed types, they probably need to get rid of. I think it would work if they brought people who just live everyday lives. But I heard one of them to say today, in so many words, that they only would prefer elite people to be in Congress. So I don't see any of these problems being fixed anytime soon.
Recommendation to you is pick your own people. That's right. Don't go back and get the latest trendy thing, the latest fad, because Vice President Harris, she was encumbered by a lot of things. She had Biden people. All right. Her campaign manager.
Now, did I not just say that. You have to get rid of those people. I just said that. Okay. I'm watching this live like y'all. That's why I'm still going through it. Because I want to hear some of the things he said, because there was only snippets that I heard. But I just said that. You have to get rid of these people. I don't know how. What you're going to do. Who are you going to replace them with? It's like everybody's ancient. And then if they're not ancient, then they're corrupted. You know, so the way Congress is set up, we're going to have the same type of players for the next 50, 60 years. Like, we're not getting no new blood. And if we do get new people, they come in with the same old thoughts. But we don't get anybody new because nobody quits. Why would you? If you get to be a senator or you get to be in the House or the Senate, that's so cushy. So you get all these extra perks if you play the game right. If you do decide to leave, you get consulting gigs. You get to make money like they did this election. You know, so. But I just said that you got to get rid of those people. You can't get. You're not gonna move forward until you bring new people in.
Was Biden's campaign manager. Her headquarters stayed in Wilmington. They didn't change the furniture. They didn't change the artwork. And to ask people like Miss Dillon, whose whole career she owes to President Biden, and it's a wonderful relationship. I respect that. But no wonder you couldn't answer the question how you were different, because you didn't have your own people. They gave you the keys to their car. So don't, I get along well with the Obama people in Bax and in Messina. These guys are friends of mine. I think I would say very comfortably we have mutual respect for. But I'm not an Obama person. I'm a Clinton person. Obama would never, and it would be really stupid to have me as part of the campaign, because you have to have your own people. You have to understand that. Sometimes in politics, people want to chase the latest trend or the latest idea of someone that did that. No.
I mean, the trend chasing thing is something that media, period, well, media does as well. And I think the media encourages it a lot when it comes to politics. And then, people be scared to do different things because they got to deal with everybody around them. So if you making some kind of splash as a congressman, you bringing some kind of bill to the table that is contrary to everything that the entirety of Congress, the House and the Senate is against, you're not going to survive. So if these people want to survive, they can't do anything different. They have to do what's trendy. They have to do what's suggested. Yeah, they have to do what the consultants say is cool. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, until we get over those type of hurdles, you get money out of politics, because a lot of this stuff that they do is based on money that they get. There's just the gist of it. It's not that these people are stupid. A lot of these people aren't really evil. You know, they probably aren't as incompetent as they come off. But when it comes to money, and that money being what makes everything else go, then you start making these weird ass moves, man. People start questioning your integrity, but you don't care because you're getting paid. Plus, the things that you are putting out there aren't really affecting you. The things that you hold up aren't affecting you. And you keep your position because you don't go do anything different. Um, Nothing different gets done because they don't get rid of people. Like he said, they don't get why she instead of Kamala Harris saying, "Okay, we're gonna start with a clean slate. I want my own managers and everything." And you know why she didn't? Because it would have pissed off the party. It would have pissed off the donors. You only do what's trending as far as they believe. If I can put it that way. So watch a little bit more of this. I wanted to get to the part about him talking about um, the Joe Rogan, but we may have to watch through it.
No, because whoever the creator of that idea, that trend is, they have a loyalty somewhere else. They probably made money. They don't give a shit about you. You want hungry people around you that care about one thing, you and you winning. And that's all that matters. So let's talk about other conflict and loyalties here and other things that run campaigns. All right. This is two pieces of advice I'm going to give, and I'm very confident in both of them. Do not have your headquarters in Washington, D.C., or anywhere in the Washington Metroplex or whatever the fuck they call it. Be a plane ride ahead. Preferably, you have to change planes to get where you are. Because let me tell you something about these Washington assholes. They're not going to leave Northwest Washington. They're not going to leave the Cosmos Club or whatever the fuck they go to. So get away from them as much as you possibly can. The second,
You know what? I feel that because you have to be, you know, sometimes in the streets or in the hood or whatever, you will hear people say that I have to go and relocate and I have to go to another place before I could see the success I needed because I had to get out of the grips of the people who were around me who had all the influence. We have instances where they take kids and they send them to other places because they have a talent and they don't want that talent to be spoiled by the people who've been there and the business as usual crowd. Sometimes business as usual is not good business. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes business as usual is not good business. So what he's saying is true. But again, this is not something that will happen. Not with this current crowd. This is why they keep trying to pass presidential nominees amongst themselves. They only want that to go within their circle. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to worry about things like what James here is talking about. People being smart enough to say, I am going to separate myself from you. You know what I'm saying? So but he's speaking a good game. But like I've heard several people ask, where was all of this before the loss? Where was all of this in July? Where was all of this in August? Where was all of this in September? Shit, where was this in March? You know, because first it was, we got to go ahead and vote for Joe. Just don't ask no questions. Okay? And then it turned in we got to vote for Kamala. Don't ask no questions. Okay? And here we are.
second one, it's going to be controversial, but I'm going to tell you right now. No lobbyist. None, zero, de nada. To be a lobbyist is to be conflicted. You know, sometimes you learn lessons from other people. Whatever you think of George W. Bush, okay, not my intent to tell you what I think of him, but you pretty good guess. When Karl Rove went to work for him, he says, you can't have any other clients. You got to get rid of them all. Because Bush maybe was smarter than you think. He knew that there could be no conflict. So, and I like David Plouffe. I know him modestly. His reputation is very good. He's somebody that I would automatically have respect for. He's actually kind of state school guy. He's got a really cool wife. And he worked for Uber. And I guess he got to leave. Well, you're conflicted, dude. You're conflicted. Do you understand like how many issues that Uber has? I don't take. I like Uber. I have them on my what do you call it? Your app. I use them. I find them to be punctual and clean and a
Gotta turn the speed up
they got
something.
issues, man. How do you classify employees if they're contractors? I don't even want to get into it. Just like I've been with Palantir for the last, I don't know, 14 years. Well, I'm going to be loyal to Palantir because that's just the way that people are. I'm not going to, my agent don't have to worry. I'm not going to be doing it in the campaign. But no conflicting loyalties, period. And they're going to come in and say, oh, no, you know,
Man, look, hold on. Let's let him finish his
well,
thought.
obviously, all the talented people, they're very talented people. They make a very good living. I don't have anything against it. I don't think it's any less than honorable way to make a living. But you're not in the fucking political advice business because you, my friend, are compromised from day one. So don't have anybody that works for you do an exhaustive search to make sure that their single loyalty is to you and you winning the election. And just that, nothing.
Yeah, Bill. Um, that's the thing about it. How are you going to get away from the lobbyists when the lobbyists are the ones giving you your game plan? Uh, all the stuff that James is talking about is in my opinion sounds good, but let's all think about it. Which one of these people are really going to go and do this? You know, how long is it going to take until we get the type of candidates that when they come in and say, "Hey, man, I don't want anything to do with any of you." But I don't know the way that this last election turned out with these consultants and and media and all these other, you know, players that got paid for really like dropping the ball. Maybe something like this can happen. Maybe that's the setup for it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what that is. Um, maybe 2028 will be one of the first elections that the consultants didn't have control of. Because, look, man, the last three elections, two of them you lost to the same guy. You got lucky and won the one in the middle because there were circumstances there that kind of helped you along. If those circumstances hadn't been there, he would have got a second term more than likely, and then we would be thinking about something totally different then. Because at this time, we're going to be looking at Biden, who he is right now. We're going to be looking at Kamala as who she is right now, and then who's next. Because this is what I was saying, and I'm going to get back to James here. Um, I don't see anybody that they brought up. Because this is what I'm talking about when you have to get these people out of there because you don't get a chance to bring in new blood. You don't get a chance to bring in new ideas. These people hold on to these seats until the end. And then there's not really anybody qualified. Well, I'm not gonna say qualified, but they don't have um, they don't have the push. They don't have the control. They don't have the favor because they weren't allowed to get it. Like I'm telling you, Congress is on its way to some real bullshit. if they don't get things fixed in a few years, I'm talking about the House and the Senate, Democrats and Republicans, Independents, Green Party, whoever up there. If they don't get this thing together in a couple of years, it's just going to be messy. But it's really also going to open up the gate for third parties, fourth parties. So I think what we're going to see, maybe not in 5 or 10 years, but somewhere in the near future, is more parties starting to show up because the two major parties have repeatedly failed the people. They just taking turns doing it. Um, like I said in my other show, if you think that Trump is going to come in and do all these great things, I feel sorry for you. They're two sides of the same coin. I read today that the Democrats is already geared up to with him about Israel to keep paying money over there, to keep the war going, which is contrary to what he said. But like James said, you have to get rid of people, which he tried to do. But a lot of people who came in from the last time when he had his trouble, okay, and he lost, and that last it's you know he didn't get rid of people. He's bringing people back. He bringing some of the same players back that got a lot of the stuff going. You know what I'm saying? But we have to see.
Nothing else. All right, we keep making that error. We go back and we find someone from the last campaign we think is smarter than the campaign before the last campaign, and of course these people come in. They don't give a shit about you. I'll let you imagine the examples that I'm thinking of, but move on. We shall. So a couple of things I learned early in my life. You have to practice and you have to create your own moment. I go back to the Harris moment on The View because I think it in a kind of rabbinical teaching moment way, its value is just stunning. So I was just starting in politics. It was the late start. Admit that. It was at the 1984 Democratic Convention, San Francisco. It was actually going to be 40 that October. But that's the first convention I went to. I was excited. There's nothing wrong with that. Why would you? First convention. And so I was working for the Senate candidate in Texas who got slaughtered. Okay. But I had a kind of all access pass. Who got it for me, but somebody did. And I went to the convention hall. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. But I was just kind of excited to see what it looked like. I'd never been in a convention hall. I can remember, what was his name? Frank Clement's address to the 1956 Democratic Convention, the keynote. I can remember all of them. Might have been somebody else. And there were some kind of custodial people and moving chairs around and sweeping around, getting everything straight. And on the podium, and there's Mario Cuomo. And he's giving the keynote address that night. And he's practicing. He don't give a shit. He's looking at a teleprompter. He's doing timing. He's making sure he got his lines just right. Make sure what he says right. He's practicing. And I was watching him and maybe two other people. To him, we didn't even exist. And that taught me a lesson. You have to practice, practice, practice. And one of the great things that great politicians have are a sense of timing, a sense of what lines are going to work, what lines will work. And, if I were Harris's campaign manager, I would have made her answer that question, what do you do different than Biden, 20 times a day. I would have had the travel aide who sat in the back seat with her,
Yeah, now, I wonder what was really happening behind the scenes. I honestly think that a few of these times, if not more than a few of these times, right, they were winging it. That's why they were having problems with the teleprompters, so many gaffes, because everything was like, wait to the last minute. I really honestly think they thought they had it in the bag like that because they had, um, you know, they had the thought that they riled the people up in a certain manner. They thought that uh, the Roe versus Wade issue and joy and those type of things, everything but concrete concrete policy. So what they thought they would do is tell you he was a felon, give you some fun, tell you they're gonna reverse Roe versus Wade, and gonna have a campaign about joy and hope. Um, Even if she would have just ran a simple ass campaign that just covered one policy, like say for instance, the majority of her campaign was centered around the economy, she would have won handily. It's still funny to me that they can win with a game show host, dude that eat McDonald's every day, play golf, bankrupted a casino, make some awesome jokes, but he's not somebody that I would have ever thought in my lifetime we would have took serious enough to be president. I am 46. I watched Trump growing up. Um, that was not anybody I ever thought about being president. Probably other people did though, and obviously he did. So
Sat on an airplane with her. Just keep asking her. Keep practicing that answer. For whatever reason, they didn't do that. But you got to create your own moment. And you cannot talk. It has to be distinctive. And to some extent, it helps to be counterintuitive. And the best way to pick a moment is to say, what could I say that would most likely piss off NPR and Washington advocacy groups? And if that's your test, you're going to succeed every time. Every fucking time you're going to succeed. So I remember in the Clinton campaign, we created our own moment. It was called the Sister Soldier moment. Okay? It worked. All right, it just did. That pissed off NPR, pissed off progressive advocacy groups, pissed off everything. I saw my own experience. I'll give you an example. Is I saw in March of this year, we were hemorrhaging male voters. But no one would say anything. And I was trying to draw attention to it. So I told Maureen Dowd that I thought the problem with Democratic campaign culture was they were, quote, too many preachy females, unquote. Well, you had the usual fucking eruption from.
of course, like we were talking about earlier, they don't like men with authority to themselves. Not saying they don't like men in authority. Don't get that mixed up. They don't like men with authority to themselves.
From Washington progressive interest groups. But you know what's happened since the election? Nobody said, James, you were wrong. I had people come up to me and say, man, you brought attention to that problem. That you can't use their sanitized language to make a point. What I'm trying to say to you is you have to cut against the grain if you want to be heard. You have to create your own moments. And I know, and there's this kind of big postmortem. I can't stand the W word. I call it identity politics. You can imagine what I think the W word. It sickens me to even use it because the word is so noble and so glorious in its origin. It was mostly by musicians, black musicians, Ledbetter, saying that it was advisable in the 20s or 30s, whenever it was, for black people to be aware of the interactions with police. And of course, overeducated white people, NPR people got a hold of the word and of course ruined it for fucking everybody.
The word is woke. And I have had this conversation with the people who abuse it. He talking about as far back as the 20s and 30s. When I was a teenager in the 90s, when I was like a young dude in like the early 90s, the late 80s, Public Enemy was telling you to be woke. X-Clan telling you to stay woke. And it didn't mean anything like what we hear today. So when I be hearing black dudes use it in the way that they use it today, it's always weird to me, man. I'm like, don't you know where that word came from? And it's just, to me, when I hear it used, all I hear is anti-intelligence. Um, That's the only thing I get from it. When you ask them what it means, they kind of get. You remember the lady who got the blank face? Oh, this is gonna be a viral moment. Oh my god.
And so the discussion, I saw Bill Maher, I saw John Stewart, I saw different people. And did it hurt us? Of course it hurt us. And so John Stewart says, well, it couldn't hurt because no Democrat ran on it. Of course they didn't run on it, because it was, even to the most clueless progressive that you could imagine by that time, they knew it was a disaster. So in order to escape any responsibility of what happened, they said, well, that stuff was never used in 2024. Well, you're fucking wrong. It was used. See, in politics, in comedy, if you tell a bad joke, who gives a shit? You just tell a better joke and you throw the bad joke away. In politics, if you have a bad policy, particularly one as bad and stupid as this was, you may throw it away, but the other side gets to play. Understand that. This is a two-sided thing. And look at the number of ads they ran against Senate candidates, right? Senator Lex Lutkin in Michigan said just as plain as he can, we need to stop using the language of the faculty lounge. Gee, I wonder where she got that phrase from, and start using the language of the shop floor. Good idea, Senator. Thank you. You went through it. Go and ask the progressive dream. Oh, boy, you got rid of all the moderate white males. Great job. You got rid of Senator Manchin. You got rid of Senator Casey. You got rid of Senator Brown. You got rid of Senator Tester. I hope you feel good. You really must feel good. It must be purifying for people that listen to All Things Considered to think that they were part of getting rid of these people. Great job. Way to go, Brownie. You got it done. Yeah. You're so fucking smart. You know everything. But, of course, that's what happened in this election.
Well, when you want to do the things that these people want to do, any voices of reason have to go. They got to go. They can't be here. They can't be here because they are going to be stalwart. They're going to stall. They're going to get on our way. They're going to be blocks. You know, we're going to try to come to them and they're going to say, hey, man, you're going too far. How about we take this out of that and we don't do that? We won't vote for this if you bring it there because we are the moderates. So basically what they have done is just become this far left party. I don't understand where people saying they somewhere center right. The majority of that party is far left. I'm not going to say extreme left, but they pretty far left. A lot of them are.
So now we've established 5 things. You got to get your own people. You can't have any lobbyists. If you do, they got to resign. They can't bring anything to it. So, and you have this idiotic argument I see all the time. Well, should the Democrats run to the left? Should they run more to the right? Should they run more to the center? Should they run? You know what I say to these people? You got the runs, like diarrhea. Right? I actually agree with Senator Bernie Sanders. I actually agree with the, quote, progressives, unquote, whatever the fuck they are. We should have run more on the minimum wage, and we should have run more on raising taxes on incomes $400,000 a year. And I read, I hope somebody explores this, that Harris didn't want to, we were for it, we just never told anybody, didn't want to run on minimum wage because her campaign thought that would be, quote, anti-business, unquote. If somebody would have said that to me, I might have punched him in the mouth. Right? So if you say, word association, Trump.
This is why I like this dude, man. He say what he gotta say. You gotta appreciate that. And he makes a lot of sense. But they are the party of business. Somebody said academia as well. Academia and affluence. Big business. Wall Street. So this is why when they say, hey man, the economy is doing well, the first thing they point to is Wall Street. You ever hear them say the economy is doing well and then have you talking to a regular person? Since when have you seen them do that? They don't. This is why I don't understand why people dig their heels in and fight so hard. because you are doing the type of fighting that they should be doing for you. What they do is they step back and they allow their constituents to do all of their PR. They allow their constituents to do all of their battling. Their constituency is basically used as a wall. So that and the echo chambers. So, you know, he making sense. Like, how do you expect to have a message for the people if your thoughts are about businesses? Not the businesses of the people, but some little shady character in the shadows who doesn't want us to know how much money he's giving you to fuck shit up. Because if they thought they were doing anything good, a lot of these guys, we would know them. But we don't know a lot of these people. They don't really make themselves known because then we could turn our attention to them. Hey, why are you paying so many millions of dollars to make my life hard? If they get money out of politics, you get a lot better policy. Some of these goons, they're going to get out of politics. They're going to go into something else. So you can only hope. Because there's no way that you come in and be making 6 figures. You in over 4 years, you may make $1 million, maybe. But there's no way you should leave there like nearly a billionaire, and we don't know where any of that come from. But it's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, so we just got to be diligent and watch.
Okay, I know corrupt, treasonous, okay, but to the average voter, southern border, tariffs, trans. But you could definitely come up with 3 words real quick. Try to come up with a word for Harris. Not much. I think had she said America needs a raise, and I'm going to give them one with the minimum wage, and I think that in my experience over a long period of time, there's nothing more popular than raising taxes on rich people to help other people who are not rich. And the whole idea, if you think about putting together a 2028 campaign, get a lot of really rich people inside a committee. Don't tax you, don't tax the guy behind the tree, tax me. And if she would have just said, we did terrible with younger voters, we did terrible with younger voters, another expression I can't stand, but I'll use it, with voters of color. It's such an asshole way to describe people. Everybody that is not white is the same. It's so stupid. But anyway, we did more.
Sorry if you're watching this and you wanted to keep, but I had to interject. How was she going to come back from calling them stupid? That's her real thought. See, like I said, I think they be really out of touch, all of them. Because while he has good ideas, he also does not have that pulse. Okay, because younger people are a lot smarter than that. They know what she called them first. So if she had come back and tried to placate them, it may have been even worse. So maybe somebody came to her with that and said that to her. I don't know. Let's get this wrapped up.
We said we were going to raise minimum wage to, I don't care, $15, $16 an hour, and we were going to tax really wealthy people and use the money to help younger people buy a house, put in the first-time mortgage. We would have signaled to people that you're there, that we're taking on the powerful special interests, the powerful billionaire class in this country. It's time for them to pony up. The vice president was thinking about going on Joe Rogan's show, and a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched a hissy fit. Supposedly the campaign said that wasn't the term effective, but they did. When you put a campaign together and you hire young people to do work, let me tell you exactly what you tell these people, what I would tell them. Not only am I not interested in your fucking opinion, I'm not even going to call you by your name. You're 23 years old. I don't really give a shit what you think. And let me tell you another huge error. huge fucking
He
one,
is wilding.
is when people said campaigns need to reflect progressive values. No, they don't. No, they don't. Campaigns are authoritarian by their nature. And if I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 23-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this, not only would I fire that motherfucker on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot.
He wild for that. And while it sounds harsh, he kind of right. Especially if that person is preventing you from doing something that will propel you forward based on some little whimsical thought of theirs, and they want to be a stalwart to to the progression of your campaign. So yeah, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? You you're not really helping. Now also at the same time though, again, these are younger people that he doesn't have the pulse of. Okay, so maybe what's going on is they feel like a lot of young people feel like that. Okay, and they feel like a lot of young people have the same um, wants and beliefs as them. But the campaign isn't just for young people. That's the mistake that I think a lot of them make is they don't remember that the campaign isn't just for them or um, who they are advocating for. The campaign is for everybody, and people get to choose which campaign they want to support. But campaigns are for everybody. Okay. So when you start hearing these weird ass um, buzz phrases, like he said, voters of color, all that, that's just bullshit. They throw in the water to kind of sway you to their team if they know you operate a certain way, which which a percentage of people do. What they're going to have to do, though, is they're going to have to capture the half of the country that doesn't vote. They don't even talk about them. Well, they do a bit, but they've also taken to just kind of sticking to whoever they can stick to. Speaker is hanging kind of precariously off the stand there. Let's get back to him, though, because he's spitting.
I'm really not interested in your uninformed, stupid, jackass opinion as to whether you go on Joe Rogan or not. And there were people that worked in the White House that were protesting because they didn't like the president's policy in Gaza. Well, then get the fuck out of the White House. I'm every time that I think of this, I think of these Columbia protests. I don't want to necessarily, but this person has distinguished themselves. There was a Columbia student, I think her name was Joanna King Slush, who is, quote, a self-described expert on progressive and left-wing causes. If you want to know why progressive and left-wing causes go nowhere in the United States, it's probably a good idea to start with Miss King Slush, whatever the fuck her name is, who was such a revolutionary that she demanded that they be fed on the Columbia meal plan. I don't really want to pick on this young woman that much, but to say when you see something like this around a campaign, you get about as far away from it as you could possibly get. Follow what I'm saying? We're not running a democracy. We're not doing inclusion. We're not doing committees. We're not asking opinions. We're doing shit here. So to all my friends, and maybe not friends, all you Democrats, you marvelously talented people who are thinking about running in 2028, my advice is start thinking about it now. Don't back off. In my opinion, a lot of you should have run in 2024, but for other reasons you chose not to. And we're going to have a really talented figure here. We got to get these people out. We got to get them out early. We got to give hope to people. I would hope we do a kind of mini convention in 2026 and invite some people to just come in and express ideas, because people have no idea how much common sense, deep, profound talent we have in this party. And these people who had to lose the election because of the stupidity that we had in the early part of this decade. My heart goes out for you. All of you serve your country and your party with great distinction. You should be remembered, and I'm sorry that these assholes so much contributed to you losing your.
All right, well, that was James Carville, man. hope I don't get knocked up for doing that. But I just had to get through that whole thing there. Let's see here where we at. I think I'm gonna put myself here. Okay. Well, yeah. Mm, just you know, to talk on some of the. Well, we did a lot of talking on it, but I see that me and him share a lot of points. We share a lot of. We agree on a few things. I think where he kind of falls short in this message is not understanding the youth. I think you would do well to ask the right questions in regards to the youth. Um, kind of try to include, you know, try to include them because they do have an ear somewhat to the streets. Some of them might have more of an ear than the other. Others, I do believe, ones that are involved in that party are kind of out of touch with a majority of the country, and that's because they choose to be. Um, but I don't know how we gon' I don't know who we're gonna get as a great equalizer as far as those type of things go. Uh, because that's what you're gonna need, a great equalizer, a great uniter, um, somebody who is at an age where they are familiar with young and old, which that's gonna be hard. Cause like I said, man, this party got so many people implanted in it that probably should be thinking about moving on, but won't. That growing um, new blood is gonna be hard. He said it's talented people they're waiting to run. I'm interested in seeing who the hell he talking about because Gavin Newsom, he's not. I mean, in my opinion, if you ask me, I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him at all. Um, who else do we have? You got old Booty Check. He's incredibly boring. I don't. He's just a male version of Kamala Harris to me. What you gonna do? Have a old Bernie Sanders run again? What you gonna do? AOC? She's just instantly gonna turn off more than half the country again. Um, unless there are some people that's in the background that never say anything, that don't get a chance to say anything. All of the all of the well-known Democrats are people that I don't think anybody want to see up there. I really think this party has worn out their welcome, and they haven't realized that yet. Because it's easy to talk in hindsight about things. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to have that thought. In hindsight, okay, I got a Pelosi story here somewhere. What's this right here? Yeah, but Mr. Carville had a lot of. He had quite a few points that made sense. Let's see here. I had a Pelosi story there, but I guess I lost it again. But we're gonna talk about her too because she has. We're gonna give her her own show. But they have been wilding on her too. They have been saying they wanted her to sit down. Should have brought back up my. Okay, I know what happened. They asked me, did I want to restore, and I told them no. So now I gotta look this stuff up again. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. See what kind of news we could pull up on her. So I seen this today. I seen two things that I was interested in. So one of them says Pelosi secretly orchestrating another attempted shakeup of Dem leadership. Okay, let's get this up here. Let's get this up here. Okay, come on. Be nice. All right, be nice to me. All right, here we go. I still got to figure out how to get that full screen up there. Work with me, y'all. Work with me. But it says Pelosi secretly orchestrating another attempted shakeup of Dem leadership. What do they mean by that? Look at that face. Months after running an internal pressure campaign that nudged President Joe Biden out of the 2024 election, former House Leader Nancy Pelosi is plotting another ouster within the Democratic Party. Democratic. Ayo, what is okay? Let's go. Let's see what they're talking about. The representative for California's 11th congressional district, who stepped down as leader of the House Democratic caucus last year after 2 decades, is targeting the top member of her party on a judiciary committee. Representative Jerry Nadler, the New York Times reported. Pelosi is among a group of Democrats privately urging the 61-year-old Rep. Jamie Raskin to challenge Nadler, 77, for his post. Raskin is thinking about it, though hasn't made up his mind, and must weigh the fact that he and Nadler are friends, congressional colleagues told the Times. Pelosi's effort is part of an existential rethink among congressional Democrats who are concerned their oldest members are not best suited to take on President-elect Donald Trump's vociferous MAGA allies in Congress. So what does she mean? She old as hell too. She needs to go right with him. So how is she trying to out anybody? See, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. They got all this stuff going on, and this is what they choose to do. I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Don't ask me, man. I can't tell you. While Nadler has no apparent health issues, Democrats are still shaken by the decline of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein, who died at age 90 last year, months after taking a leave of the party's top judiciary post in the upper chamber and long after she had exhibited signs of cognitive impairment. And that was their fault. That's where that greedy and that wild shit and that power hungry shit get you. And like I said, they're going to go through this a lot because they have members that are just as old as Nancy Pelosi. They are got so many members in there that's probably beyond retirement age that are still sitting up there stubborn in the seat, don't want to move anywhere. This is why term limits need to be a thing. Because for one, there is no way that you should have a set of people who have made this many mistakes still allowed to be in charge. To me, that's crazy. And they have shielded anybody that's not in the little club from being able to run against them. So they kind of guarantee that we always have to deal with them. I don't think that's fair at all. That we have to be subjected to that from them. It's crazy to me. To me, it's crazy. Let's see where we's at. Trump's MAGA acolytes. Why do they call them acolytes? It just, oh my God, this is just the dramatics, man, the dramatics. Trump's MAGA acolytes in Congress will be expected to help carry our president-elect's combative approach to law and order. The top Republican in the House Judiciary Committee is Jim Jordan, a founder of the populist and MAGA-friendly Freedom Caucus. The Times said Raskin, am off-the-cuff debater, compared to talking points with Nadler. Did I read that right? Okay, let's start that again. The Times said Raskin, am off-the-cuff debater, compared to the talking points with Nadler, is viewed by disgruntled Democrats as better positioned to lead the opposition on the all-important committee. am off the cut debater compared to the talking points with it Naylor. What the hell are they talking about? I don't appreciate being made to feel like I'm crazy. Jeez. Naylor isn't the only ranking Democrat under the microscope. The Times reported Representative Raul Grijalva, he's 76, the top party member on the Natural Resources Committee, and Representative David Scott, 79, the top party member on the Agriculture Committee, are facing challenges from younger House members. According to Jonathan Arthur's book, American Reckoning, Pelosi wasn't happy that the only bloody fingerprints on the knife were hers after she played a key role in ousting Biden. She did so first by pressuring him behind the scenes. When that didn't work, by making a public cryptic message that the time was running short for Biden to make up his mind about staying in the race. After he dropped out, Pelosi trashed his team. I've never been that impressed with his political operations, she said in an interview with the New Yorker. They won the White House, bravo, but my concern was this ain't happening and we have to make a decision for this to happen. Her office did not immediately reply to a request for comment. And yeah, are we like really surprised? Are we really? I mean, here's what's funny to me. All right, let's come on, Skip. Get this back up here. Get this stuff changed up. All right. So here's what's hilarious to me. This lady. Let me see how old she is. How old is she? How old is Nancy Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi. How old is she? Let's see. Let's see here. It does say she is 84 years old. So how in the hell is she ousting anybody for someone younger and saying that she don't think they can stand up to I'm doing air quotes here, Trump acolytes? That's insane. That's insane. She 84, y'all. 84. Hey, yo, that's bold. 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 And then she's being protected by Hakeem Jeffries and all those guys. Yeah, I don't want her. This is a long read. But I'm looking at an article right now that says she shows no sign of freeing the Democratic Party from her grip. She is 84. She can wake up tomorrow with Jesus. Way easier than any of us listening right now. And we would have to be on some really bad timing for that to happen to one of us right now. She's really close. She's extremely close. What is she talking about? She's not going to free the Democratic Party from her grip. Let it go, lady. And see, this is what I'm saying. All over the country, this is an issue that we have with our elderly. They do not want to relinquish any control because they have worked very hard to corral everything. They're the ones who enjoy, they're the last ones who enjoy any kind of real comforts. And they have held all of those things really close to them and made sure. You know what I'm saying? And the bad thing is that they didn't even make sure that all of them enjoyed it. It's just a small group of them that do it. But they're all over in every sector, in every business, and they're all over the place where they're beyond their years. They even get up there and they keep pushing the retirement age back. It's time to stop it. It's time for it to stop, man. It is time for it to stop. It really is. Um, because we are going to get to a point where all of the important leadership is going to be 90 years old and half dead. Excuse my damn language. But that's exactly what's going to happen. Half of them, half of them are really close to retirement age, man. And like I said, the ones that are young enough to be there have been influenced by these people that need to go. So they need to go with them. And I mean, that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking. But the influence that these elder congressmen, these elder senators, this is who we gonna deal with. Their imprint is on everybody right now. There's not a person up there that's not. They don't have opposition. When the last time you had seen any opposition for real in this party? The only person, I'll take that back. The only person who got opposition was Joe Biden from Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. Once they got done doing that stuff, and they only did it to sabotage anything that me and you were supposed to get, which that was strange to me, that every bill that they attacked were bills that were supposed to make people's lives easier. But that was the only opposition that I've seen from this party. I haven't seen any other opposition, not opposition to what the other party does, but opposition within the party to what you have to say, because it doesn't make sense. So it is heavily compromised. And it just, and like I said, we was listening to Carville. He is confident that they're going to be able to put somebody up in 2028 to compete. I'm not so confident. I feel like in 2026, we're going to see more of the same thing. And not because Trump is so good, but because they are so freaking bad. And you still got Nancy Pelosi saying that she isn't planning on getting out the way anytime soon. So she gonna be there to the end, till she can't, till the wheels fall off, pretty much. So that's what she telling y'all. Because even if she's not, any kind of the leader of the house or whatever the hell it was that she held that position for so long, she got her guy in there. So basically, as long as she's still there, she in a sense she's still kind of getting to run the party through him. He's not doing anything on his own. He a empty suit too, a stooge. And this is why I say they all have to go together. They have to all have to go together. So, um, it's just listening and watching to just she. Because I had said at one time, I'm like, right there around maybe October, September. I was like, where is she? Why hasn't she come out and said too much of anything in regards to like pushing and what is the word I want to use? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I must be tired. Endorse. She didn't strongly endorse anybody. Matter of fact, she was one of the ones in the beginning that wanted to have another primary, which I was trying to figure out if they had done that. That may have been that may have worked out better for them. I do honestly believe that people would have taken into consideration that this woman started late, and they may have given her the benefit of the doubt because she came out and she put forth that kind of effort with that kind of time, and that would have shown a sense of urgency. Um, I am so mad because I do not get to see if I get any viewers or anything. Um, I gotta change my broadcasting equipment because I'm paying for this and nothing works on it, like nothing. And I know it's not my computer. I just spent a pretty penny on this damn thing, so I know it's definitely not that. Yeah, but like I was saying, that party is, I don't know. It is they did so incredibly bad that we can't even concentrate on how bad the Republicans still are. Like we haven't even gotten a chance to like say talk about them for real because it's been so chaotic. And we are still in Biden's presidency. We haven't even give they you wait. You this is just prerequisites what we seeing right now. When when Trump get into office, like January 20th, January 6th, whatever, I don't know, whatever date that they do it. I don't even remember right now. Once he gets into office, oh man, you just watch. You just watch. It's gonna get absolutely bananas out here. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Because um, you're gonna have them fighting him and each other. I feel like some things are gonna come out against some people that's gonna be shocking to everybody. A lot more backstabbing. Oh my God, a lot more backstabbing is getting ready to go on. Oh man, I gotta remember to turn it off next time. Well, yeah, I think it's gonna be entertaining, but enjoy being able to see the Democrats go through what they're going through right now. Because I have a strange feeling that the Republicans are on the clock and they're not gonna perform well because they have a whole different set of problems amongst themselves. All of them have a problem with ego and arrogance. Um, and um, what I think the Republican Party is going to make a mistake at is, like I said before, you have a lot of dorkish, silly, childish like men with chips on their shoulder and got a little power and they got a green light and they eager, and those type of people always tend to like really fuck up things because they don't put a lot of thought into what they choose to do, because it becomes more of a matter of I'll show you, you know, um, it becomes more of a matter of that than I'm here to really make your life better. Because when I hear Vivek talk, he isn't talking like, oh man, I'm doing this trying to make people's lives better. We want to do. He's coming in, breathing fire and brimstone, get back to work and all of this stuff. And like I said, both parties suffer from this arrogance. Okay, don't anybody make the mistake of thinking that the Republicans don't suffer from the same type of arrogance that the Democrats suffer from. Because trust me, if the Democrats wasn't getting if the Democrats had been getting smacked around like this earlier, they would have toned down their behavior as well. But they don't believe in, they don't see what they thinking right now is everybody is so mad at the Democrats that they won't notice their arrogance. But what's going to end up happening is once this party further crashes and burns, and this party then and the right gets into the White House and people start to expect things of them and they start to deliver on other things that they didn't that isn't what people are expecting, trust me, people are fed up. They're not putting up with the shit. They're not. So, being honest, why am I here? I gotta go back here. So, being honest, man, I'm just telling y'all, it's going to be wow. If it, I'm not guaranteeing it, but this is just what I see. Okay, I don't see much of a difference in either party because if you really think about it, the Democrats haven't really done anything for people, but the Republicans wasn't breaking their neck to do anything for anybody either. So um, that's why I always think it's weird that people will say like, okay, I'm not going to vote Democrat this year, but then they'll go and vote Republican. They on the same they on the same program a lot more than they not. They don't. If you notice, they don't really fight like that about a lot of stuff. They don't. A lot of stuff they get together on and they get it done because it's enriching them to them. Now, where they will start to have the issues is when the enrichment isn't on them or the donors. When the enrichment is going to go to you or me, then somebody be like, "Hey, we can't really be doing that." That was the pandemic. The pandemic scared them um because it let people see a little bit under the curtain that a lot of the stuff that they were being told, a lot of stuff we're being told that it would be too hard for us to do because we can't really afford to do it. We kind of got a little peek that maybe you can, but but you know, instead of um helping the citizens materially, they would rather give that money to the Pentagon so they can lose it, or whoever is there that's taking it. Somebody from the Pentagon is filthy damn rich. I don't know who it is, but they got some money. They got a lot of money because these people have failed their audit 7 years in a row. 7 years. 7 of them. 7. Imagine you being able to keep a job that you got low scores 7 years in a row. Imagine that. You can't because it would never happen. But 7 years of that, you don't get a lot of information about heads, who in charge, what's being moved around, who fired, who lost jobs, who replaced who there. Who, at least I don't. Some people are a little more connected than me. I'm pretty connected to this stuff because I think about it every day. I watch it. I pay attention to it every day. Not saying I'm the greatest political mind in the world, but it is something that I enjoy being a part of. It's something that I enjoy watching. It's stuff that I enjoy breaking down. But that's not something that I've really been privy to. So it might exist, who knows? But I don't know anything about it. And I don't suspect that I will be learning anything about that either anytime soon. But yeah, man, trying to hit a 2 hour mark today. I didn't get any viewers, but it's all good. Hopefully, the show is clear. I know it's probably not the most entertaining stuff, but hey, man, we got to get it out there. We'll have some shows, though, that'll be entertaining, I promise you. Um, but these are build ups for me um, to bigger things, man. Just trying to be consistent with something. You know, if you're an artist like I'm an artist, you know about being all over the place and having 50,000 projects running at the same time. You know all about it. You know all about it, man. Um, but yeah, this is something that I was saying I was gonna get back into, and I haven't. I'm actually supposed to be hooking up with some guys from my old Blog Talk radio days. I think I've missed 2 Friday shows, but you know, people have ideas about things that don't always translate to action. Well, anyway, man, I enjoyed that James Carville, and what I really wanted to talk about was that last part um, when he was talking about the staffers and the Joe Rogan thing. I I don't know if that was a mistake or not because I don't watch Joe Rogan. So who she was supposed to be appealing to? Because a lot of black people don't watch Joe Rogan. Um, she seemed to be fixated on black people, so going on Joe Rogan would really probably wouldn't have reached that crowd. But majority of the people who listen to Joe Rogan don't like Kamala Harris, and I don't really think she is the type of person that's going to come in and change minds. So her not going on Joe Rogan made more sense than it didn't. I don't really think she would have swayed anybody either left or right on it. It just would have been another 2 hours of her dodging questions, or she would have gotten upset with Joe Rogan and probably left before we even got an hour into the interview. So it was probably best that she didn't go there. Because Trump hit a lot of spaces, but I'm pretty sure it was something that he avoided too. It's just what it is. But she just happened to avoid more, and she just happened to be a lot more tongue tied, a lot more a lot more tied to other people's words than Trump was. She was pretty much led around for the entire cycle. Like I said, she let people think for her, and they turned out to be derps. They got rich though. I'm pretty sure she got a pretty penny. She went to Hawaii. She got on TV drunk. We're gonna talk about her and doing that tomorrow. Gotta find the videos and stuff for that, man. We're gonna do an even better show tomorrow, Monday. But if you run across this and you stayed on this long, man, I really appreciate you. Go ahead and give me a like and subscribe if you can. I am thinking about doing some short form edited videos this week too. So I may do that as well. And I am also thinking about going back into my reading, my narration. I have a narration channel. Got like 6 videos on it, maybe. So I think I'm gonna go back and try to do a couple of those early in the day, because I'm getting toward the end of my school semester, so I'm gonna have about a month of free time to just work on my craft and not have to worry about that whole school thing. So it was good to be here. Let's hope and pray that we all make it to tomorrow evening in one piece. This is fun, man. I like doing this, and think I'm gonna stick around for a while.